Five. All right, all right, all right. Shalom. Now we got to do the Torah portion, man. You know that Torah is every day. Ikaran, you know Torah. Got to do the Torah every day, man. All right, so Shema Yasha Allah, Yahweh Allahayna, wa Yahweh Akkad, wa Ahabta At Yahweh Allahayaka, Bakal Lababka, wa Bakal Napashka, wa Bakal Ma'adka. Yabarakakam Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Yahweh bless you in the name of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. All right, so the next new moon we got coming up is going to be in 9 nights. Nothing to do with Benjamin. So 9 nights is going to be, and it's going to be so-called March 5th at night, and 9 more nights. Okay, and then the new year is going to come in on April, so-called April 4th. All right, so that's when that's the time that we got going on now. Passover is going to be on the 18th to the 18th to 19th of April. All right, and then the last day of Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, is going to be on the 24th to the 25th of April. So what we're going to do now, we're in the first Torah, portion of the first Torah Aliyah, the first Torah reading of Parashah Vayak'hel. Okay, which is Exodus chapter 35, verses 1 through 20, dealing with the Holy Shabbat and teamwork. All right, I see you said Shalom, Ayatan Shalom Leka, Shalom, hallelujah. So of course, Vayak'hel means Vayak'hel, which means and he called. All right, so Moses is calling. All right, so now I'm gonna read the first verse and then I'm gonna stop. And Moses called or assembled. Moses assembled the entire assembly of the children of Israel and said to them, these are the things that Yahweh commanded to do them. So before I go any further, I want to just focus on that real quick. So Moses talking to the Idah, which is the congregation or the community or the assembly. All right, the assembly of Banya Yasharallah, which means the children of Yasharallah. And that's why we at the body, the council of governmental affairs that's been operating under that capacity for years of Banya Yasharallah, of part of and under Mashara Yasharallah. That's why we focus on Banya Yasharallah, all camps, all communities, all bodies, to be a resource center to come to get information, to get help, and to spread this word of who we are and repentance in the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach to all of the nations where Yasharallah have been scattered abroad through captivity and slavery. So Moses is addressing the whole nation right here. So remember, it's not about whatever organization or body you belong to. We are all Banya Yasharallah. That's what the name is that Yahweh calls us. That's what the Bible calls us. That's what the Torah calls us in so many places. So, so the Moses is assembling and Moses calling to, okay? Vayak'hel Masha al-Khal Idat Banya Yasharallah La Amar Alham, to say unto them, all right, unto them. So Moses talking to all of the Banya Yasharallah, which are all, he's talking to all of the children of Israel, every last one of us. So when I say Banya Yashrala, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about your camp. I'm talking about your parents that are from the seed of right here, from the seed of Yashrala. Banya means sons of. Banya Yashrala means the sons of Yashrala. All right. Now, the sons of Yashrala and their sons and the daughters that come from them. All right. So now, verse 2. On 6 days work may be done, but the seventh day shall be holy for you, a day of complete rest for Yahweh. Ariashan, whoever does work on it shall be put to death. You shall not kindle fire in all your dwellings on the Shabbat day. I have somebody do that if they can, if you can't do it. All right. Masha said to the entire assembly of the children of Yasharallah, Banya Yasharallah, saying, this is the word that Yahweh has commanded, saying, take for yourselves a portion for Yahweh. Everyone whose heart motivates him shall bring it as a gift for Yahweh. Gold, silver, copper, turquoise, which is blue, purple, and scarlet wool, linen, goat hair, red dyed ram skins, tacas skin, acacia wood, oil for illumination, spices for the anointment oil, and the aromatic incense, shohan stones, and stones for setting, for the ephod and the breastplate. Every wise-hearted person among you shall come and make everything that Yahweh has commanded, the tabernacle, its tent and its cover, its hooks, its planks, its bars, its pillars, and its sockets, the ark and its stage, the cover, the partition curtain, the table, its staves, and all its utensils, and the showbread, the menorah of illumination, its utensils, and its lamp, and oil for the illumination, the incense altar, and its staves, the anointment oil, and the incense spices, and the entrance screen for the entrance of the tabernacle, the elevation offering altar, and the copper netting for it, its staves, and all its utensils, the laver and its base, the curtains of the courtyard, its pillars and its sockets, and the screen of the gate of the courtyard, the pegs of the tabernacle, the pegs of the courtyard and their cords, the knit vestments to serve in the sanctuary, the sacred vestments for Aharon, the Kahan, the Kohen, the priest, and the vestments of his sons to minister. The entire assembly of the children of Yasharallah left Moses' presence. Okay, Amariam. All right, so now that was a quick reading. That was, so now what we want to talk about is, once again, everything is precipitated upon time from Genesis chapter 1. So I'm going to be real brief. I ain't going to drag it out tonight. So the Most High says 6 days work can be done, but the 7th day shall be holy to you, a complete rest for Yahweh. Whoever does any work gets put to death. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to erase this. And we're going to do the same thing that we always do. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw real quick. All right, we're going to just draw 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So we got 7 right there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 5, 6. Who's that, Chicago? 7. All right, so we got 7. So this is 7. So now this pattern right here goes on. It goes on. It never stops. Now this is the rule from Yahweh. So Yahweh expects you to have a time system where every 7 days you stop working. Every 7 days. That means that if your new moon comes in, if the end of the month is right here, if the end of the month is right here, and the new moon starts, the new month starts right here, guess what? You still got 2 more days to go, and then you have a Sabbath day. Now, this new moon day, let's say this is the new moon. This day is not a day of total rest. We see so many scriptures, and you got to go and research it for yourself. Just type in first day. Just type in first day. Do a search on first day. And when you do a search on first day, you'll see first day of so-and-so month, you know, especially if you, maybe if you use like a King James Bible, okay? If you use like a King James Bible, let's go into them and see if I see a quick example real quick. Let's go look at if you type in even on the 15th day. On the 15th day of the second month, okay, we came into the wilderness. We came into the wilderness, okay, of sin, okay, on the 15th day of the month. And then when we go, you know, we set up, of course, we set up the camp and everything, which means we was traveling during the 15th day, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. It was either on the 15th day, it fell anywhere in between these days. If it starts right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It would fall right here. So that day was a day that you could travel, a day that you could set up tents. All right. Now I need y'all to just step on it. Just walk on it. Let's take that off. All right, so no matter where the new moon falls at, the 7th day never changes. That's why Yahweh said, 6 days you work, rest on the 7th day. 6 days you work, rest on the 7th day. Now, even when you come to Passover, which let's say this is a bib, so Passover would be right here. And Passover would be right here. So let me draw like a little Well, that's a little lamb. So you got a little lamb right there for Passover. And then you got the 14th day on the even. Okay. Is when you're supposed to kill it with the knife. The 14th day going into the 15th day, you kill it. All right. So that's the 14th day right here, 15th day. On this day, the scripture says don't do any work except for that which every man must do to eat. So for this Sabbath, this Sabbath, this Sabbath, this Sabbath, you cannot cook. On every other Sabbath that Yahweh gave us, we can cook. On every other holy day, even though he says it's a Sabbath of rest, but we still have to celebrate, and we can cook food on those days. These Sabbaths, we cannot kindle any fire on these Sabbaths. Now, let's say we have the Day of Atonement, okay? So the Day of Atonement, let's say this is the beginning of the month again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On this Day of Atonement, on day number 10, these Sabbaths, let's say this is the 7th month. On these Sabbaths, you can have a sandwich, you can have a wrap, turkey wrap or a vegetable wrap. You can have any kind of wrap on these days. But right here, if this is the Day of Atonement, Yahweh said you can't eat any food and you can't do no work. All right. But now let's take it back. Let's take it back one day. Okay. I'm going to show you why in a minute. Okay, bam. I'll show you why in a minute. All right. So let's say a month starts on the 4th day of the week. And this is the last day. So the month starts right. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now on this day right here, you can't do anything. You can't work, you can't cook, you cannot drink, and you cannot eat. And then the next day coming up, which is another Sabbath, where you can eat on this day, but you still can't cook and you can't work. So now we see that there's exceptions to when Yahweh says 6 days you shall work. Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. But then if this day is the Day of Atonement, we can't do any work and we cannot eat. We can kindle no fire at all. And this day is the Sabbath. We cannot work. We cannot kindle fire, but we can eat because this is the 7th day weekly Sabbath. All right, so we cannot kindle any fire. And that's when we read on verse, that's when we see on verse 3. He says, don't kindle any fire in your dwellings on the Sabbath day. All right, so I'm going to get into that in a minute. So now what we see here is that when Yahweh gives us, 5 days to work, there's really only 6 days to work, Salaklia. When Yahweh gives us 6 days to work, all right, sometimes we're going to have 5 days depending on when this day, the Day of Atonement, falls. That's the only day in the year that is a higher Sabbath. What's that? But that needs to be like rung inside of, do it back in there and then have her do it inside the same thing that Aliyasha had. This is the only day that the Most High has told us, we have to keep on a higher level than the weekly Sabbath. So let me break this down. Okay, let's put the okay, let's say that the new month starts on the 7th month starts on the 2nd day of the week. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this 10th day would be the Day of Atonement. This 10th day would be the Day of Atonement. Okay, so that would be the Day of Atonement. So that means that you got 1, 2, 3 days you can work. then one day you cannot do any work, and then 2 days that you can work, and then the last day, which is the Shabbat, you can't work. But on this day, you cannot work, you cannot eat, you have to fast. So what does that mean? That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days we have to do work, not 6, like Yahweh said. So we see exceptions, and this is the only exception to the type of work at all 0 gets done. But now when you have a new moon, we know that you can do certain assembling work. You can do certain long journeys and travels. We know you can do that. Why? Because we see it all throughout the Torah, that they arrived at this place on the first day of the week and they set up shop. But we know we didn't make ourselves unclean. We didn't make ourselves unclean on those days. We didn't make ourselves unclean in those days. So we kept those days holy days, and we didn't go out and do work for hire. We know that. So I just want to show you that no matter, you know, a lot of time when you follow in a different type of calendar, you forget that the Most High deals with 6 and then 7, 6 and then 7. And in that 6 and 7 day cycle, you may see an exception to that 6 days of work. You may see an exception, but the rule is all throughout the rest of the year is 6 days and you rest, 6 days and you rest. Even when the Sabbath comes in, even when the new moon comes in, rather, you can still cook on that day. It's not a total secession from everything like the weekly Sabbath is. All right. So I wanted to make that point. You know, that's it. Now I want to erase this, and I want to make another point from what we just read. Okay. Another point from what we just read. The scripture says, don't kindle any fire. All right, don't kindle any fire. Now look, this right here, all right, so this right here, let's say this is fire. Let's say under your little fire, you know. So this is the fire. You got the little wood going and you got the little fire. That's a pretty good fire, ain't it? You got a little fire going. Now, this technically, because people say, well, what about staying warm? This technically is not, well, I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to say it exactly right because I can't explain the words. So this technically is not kindling a fire. When you light the fire and you stand warm, or you light the fire because you don't want to freeze to death, that's not technically kindling a fire by the word that's used. All right. That's not technically kindling the fire. All right. Kindling the fire. So this is just, you know, this is just the ash. Okay. That's just the fire. Okay. So it tells us by ear. Okay. Tha, ba, irwa. So you all shall not, it says la'ah. Okay. It says la'ah ta'ibirwa. Okay. La'ah ta'ibirwa. So now we're going to go to our little trusty dictionary. Okay. And we're going to look up by ear because we know this is going to be like a prefix that says shall not, like la'ah ta'na'ah is you shall not commit adultery. Okay. So we're going to look up by ear. Okay. So I'm going to show you how you can use this concordance as a dictionary too. So you go to the word that says by ear. And of course you gotta know your letters in alphabetical order. So it says by ear. It says by ear. And I'm gonna show you what it says by ear. This is the word for by ear. You can look in your Strong once again, or get a good Hebrew dictionary. It says it's a primary root. Okay. And it says, once again, all I did was I'm gonna show you what I did. Okay. All I did was anytime you see something that says you shall not, that prefix is always gonna say ta'ah. We're gonna say ta'ah. All right. So let me try to show you what I'm talking about. All right. I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. In verse 3 right here. Everybody can see that. Hope you can see that verse 3. All right, so I'm right here. All right, so right here. So this right here says la'ah, okay, which means no. That's why we got this up here, in case you're wondering what that was hanging up there. It's like a little pointer you use for the Torah. So this word right here, all right, this word right here says no, right here. That word says no. So la'ah. So this word right here says ba'irwa. I wrote it wrong. I wrote ibirwa. It says ba'irwa. So la'ah ba'irwa. It says no shall, which is that? You shall not by ear kindle, and then the wa is like the plural, okay? It's like the plural saying you shall not, okay? Or they shall not. It's just a plural, okay? So then the next word we see is going to be right here, which says let me get it, ash. So it says ash, which is fire. Then it says bakal in all. Then it says ma Shabbat yakam, which means your resting places, your Sabbath, or your resting places, your places of sojourning. Or Shabbat yakam. Okay. Then it says bayawam hashabat. So you should not kindle any fires. Okay, in all your dwelling places, all right? In all your dwelling places, right? In all your places where you sojourning, you resting. It says Shabbat yakam, all right? Then it says Bat Yawam on the day. It says Hashabbat on the rest day, all right? So that's what it says. So now what I did, which is what you should really start to do. You see that word? It says stop. Now I wrote it right, tha by ear. So it says tha by ear. I didn't write it backwards. I mean, I wrote it the right way. So look at the word tha by ear. What I'm going to do, I'm going to look up the word by ear because I know that that's the root word. So what I do is I got this Strong, but I use it as a dictionary. All right, I use it as a dictionary. So if you look on the bottom right here, it'll have the word by ear. I don't know if you can see that. My camera probably not getting it. Right, so we're going to try to make it get it. All right, we're going to try to make it get it. Now, the zoom ain't good enough. So here's the word. Okay, say Strong's 1197. So when you flip the page where the actual entry, is in fullness, it says to kindle, i.e. consume by fire or by eating. So this says you're not supposed to consume. It doesn't say consume the wood, but consume or eat or by ear the fire. Now, what does that mean? This is what that means. Okay, and you got to understand this too. So let's make my fire a little lower. Okay, and let's say we're in the wilderness, so I got like a little pot. My pot has like a little clasp on it to hold the pot top on it. Okay, I put it on. I just turn it around and it holds the pot on. And I got like a little slit on the top of it. All right. Then I got like a little loop, and I got a stick going through it. Got a stick, a metal pole going through it. That metal pole is being supported going into the ground. And my little metal pole is being supported going into the ground. Okay. So this is my pot. And I have food in there, or I have water. Okay. So now what's happening is that my pot, my food is ba'ayr, the ash. It's consuming the fire. So now I'm using fire to cook. I'm using the fire for water. I'm using the fire to light something. When I put something to this fire, to use the fire to give me another action. All right? That is what is actually being prohibited. So if I use the fire to say, I'm going to light some charcoal or some incense on a Shabbat, the Most High said, don't kindle. Now, I know some people say, well, in the temple, Levites did it. Those are Levites in the temple. Those are priests in the temple. Those are priests in the tabernacle. That's not us coming from a filthy, dirty captivity, trying to pretend that we're this set apart, anointed people that can break this particular commandment. And this is what Yahweh meant when he said that the people in the tabernacle, they profane the Sabbath. They do something against the Sabbath every Sabbath. He was talking about lighting the fires for the incense and the sacrifices and the altar. That's what he was talking about, how they profane the Sabbath, meaning they do something on the Sabbath that it's uncommon for everybody else to do, but it was common for them to do it on that particular day. So when you consume a fire, it says la'ah. It says la'ah ta birwa. Ash. All right, ash. Then it says bakal. It says bakal Shabbath yakam. Bakal Shabbath yakam ba yawam ha-Shabbat. That's what it says. So it said, don't consume la'ah. Right here. It says la'ah ta ba'irwa. La'ah ta ba'irwa or ta ba'irwa. La'ah ta ba'irwa ash. Okay. Now this is the ash. The ash is going right here. This is the ash right here. So he says, don't consume this. He didn't say don't ignite that. All right. Ignite. He didn't say don't ignite it. He said don't consume it. So if it's winter time and it's cold in your house and it's you by yourself or it's you with a newborn baby and the blankets ain't getting it, you got to put your fire on. You got to have your gas. You got to have your wood. You got to have your coal. You got to have your fuel for the fire. So fire in itself indicates something that something is being, something is some physical medium is creating that fire. So that's, we're not even tripping on that wood right there, because you can't have fire without having something. But what the Most High is saying, don't take this fire and then use that fire for something else. So that's what he's saying. Don't take that fire and use that fire for something else. Okay. So that's what we want to make the distinction with. Right? Now, everything else, the Most High said that all these people that had wisdom were being used to assemble this tabernacle with all of these different elements coming together, which means that you, with your body as the temple, you got to be dealing with men of wisdom when you trying to get your temple straight. You can't just be on any and everybody you see on YouTube. Sounds to your ear. The brother makes a good presentation. How do you think women end up having babies with men that they hate? How do you think men having babies with women that they hate, that they despise, that they don't like? Why? Because they fell for the game. They fell for the okie doke, and they got into a relationship that they really didn't want to be in, and it was only seeking for the pleasure of the moment. See, a lot of y'all get endorphin release, dopamine in your system when you hear something against the so-called white man, or you hear something that sounds unusual and rare. Your body gets a high, because a lot of our people were actually conceived when their mother and father was high, when the mother and father was doped up, when the mother and father had all types of cannabinoid receptors open in their system by false a false outside exterior being introduced through weed or whatever, and those cannabinoid receptors open, and that produces a desire and a craving in us for that high when we born. If our parents were high or using drugs or had some sort of mind altering or mood altering dependency when we were conceived, and it was in their bloodstream. So now a lot of times that translates when you come into the truth. That's why you flock to these different doctrines, and you flock to being a part of the group, and you flock to doing something that's different than everybody else, or you flock to this person is an inspirational speaker or motivational, speaker, or this person has charisma and can convey what they're trying to say in a very good way. Well, that's how the world operates. Satan operates his whole world like that, by getting people to make decisions that they otherwise would not make, based on his influence and manipulation and witchcraft over words, and making it seem like you're an exclusive Israelite club now, so now you got to do this, that, and the third. No, you being born an Israelite is already enough. Now, how do you excel in being an Israelite? You excel by cleaving unto wisdom, by cleaving unto the Torah, not by cleaving unto another person or a group, unless they also are cleaving to the Torah. Cleaving means that the wisdom is your sister, wisdom is your woman, wisdom is your kinswoman, and the Torah is your guiding path that you're walking on with Yahushua, because he is the way. So if that person's life and example and talk is not almost pristine on a regular basis, they're gonna slip up. But if it's not, and they just in a feelings or just another Israelite version of the worldly them, then that's no good. That goes so. You see? So now, just like the Most High wanted these wise people to be assembled to put this tabernacle together, like we just read in the book of Exodus chapter 35, the Most High said, every wise-hearted person shall come and make everything. Right? He said, every wise-hearted person shall come and make everything that the Most High said. It says, Wakal Chakam. Chakam, and then he says, Lab, every wise heart. Then it says, Bakam, among you all, Yaba'awa, shall come. Wa Ishawa, and they make Afkal, make every and all thing. All right, Asherah, which Zawa Yahweh, which Yahweh commanded. So we come when we got a heart of wisdom and our heart is wise to come and do everything together that Yahweh has said for us to do. The menorah, the table, the altar, all those things are representative of things that's happening within our lives, our spirit, within our our makeup, that the Most High is showing us and telling us what he wants us to do and how he wants to do it. You know, from the clothes all the way back up, you know, to the incense. And remember, now you are the light of the Most High. You are His light. All right, you are the temple. You are like the menorah now. All right, so let your light shine and be bright in the commandments and in the law. Scripture says wisdom causes a man's face to shine. All right, Scripture says that His word is a light unto our feet, you know, and a light unto our, and a lamp unto our feet, and a light unto our path. All right, a light unto our feet and a lamp unto our path. So that's what His word is, and His law. His law is bright, is everlasting. Wisdom is bright. Yahushua is the way, the truth, and the life, and He's bright. He's the light that came into the world for us. So we can't forget Yahushua. All right, so that's it for today. The Shabbat, kindling the fire, or Ba'ir Ha'ash. All right, Ba'ir Ha'ash, consuming the fire, which is different than, you know, what we think in the English. When we think in the English, just research it. I gave you the Strong's number, and this how it's gonna look in the your Strong's is gonna look like this. Ear. That's how it's gonna look in the modern Hebrew. This is how it looks in the ancient Hebrew, in the Paleo. All right, so now he said to keep his Sabbath holy. So we can't have sex on the Sabbath day. We can't party on the Sabbath day. We can't buy and sell on the Sabbath day. We can't do our own pleasures on the Sabbath day. The Sabbath, once again, is every seventh day. The way you see most of our people keeping the Sabbath day, that day, that's the Sabbath day. A new wave of brothers came in, following behind some different doctrines that Gentiles created, and broke off from keeping the Sabbath on a regular day, and think that they have a little own. That's not the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day is the regular day that you see most people, the so-called black man, Hispanic, Latinos, so-called white man, Germans, so-called everybody that you see mainly keeping the Sabbath on so-called Saturday, so-called Friday, the so-called Saturday night. That's the real Shabbat. All right, that don't fall for it. So every week. Now, the Most High said, if you don't keep the Sabbath day holy, He said He's going to cut you off from among your people, man. So you don't want that. All right, so now, in keeping this Sabbath day, right, what else did He say? He said 6 days you do everything you got to do. All right, 6 days you got to do everything you got to do. It's a day of complete rest. So on 6 days, work may be done. All right. On 6 days, work may be done. All right. Shashaf Yamayim Ta'isha Malaka. All right. You shall do work. Wabayawam Hashab Ya'ayya. Okay. Yahweh Lakam Kodash. Shabbath 1. All right. So it's a Shabbat 1. So it's a day of, a lot of people read the Hebrew and they think that Shabbat 1 is something different and special. No, it's the regular Sabbath or some people might say Shabbaton. Well, the Shabbaton, the regular weekly Shabbat is a Shabbaton or Shabbat 1. I'm reading it right now when they say complete rest. All right, Shabbat 1. So the seventh day is holy unto us. It says Yawam Hashab Ya'ayya. All right. So if the seventh day is holy, and let me break this down to you also. So everybody got this part, right? Let me erase this. If the Most High keeps saying the seventh day is holy and it's a day of complete rest, if it's a day of complete rest, okay. Once again, let's go to these weeks. Okay, let's make this 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 6, 7. Let's make it easy now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's say that this is the week. This is the week. So the Most High say every Sabbath, every seventh day, I want you to keep holy. It's a day of complete rest. Okay, so if I'm following this thing every month, okay, and the Most High said to do this thing every 7 days. Now, the way a lot of brothers are doing it is that this is right here for an example. Okay, I'm going to make another column. And I always got to address these issues when I'm teaching, because a lot of brothers forgot the basics and teaching the basics. And that's how Satan was able to creep in and create a whole generation of Israelites that don't do nothing right, because they've been off on their own without a direct person teaching them. And they just been coming up with all types of other stuff, listen to what somebody else taught, sound good to them, and they went with it. When you got the spirit of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, you're not going to fall for the okie doke. Not for 20, 30 years, not for 10 years. Maybe for a moment, but not eternally until you read something in the book and then say, oh, we ain't going, that ain't the spirit of Hamashiach. That's you following after knowledge that's in this world, but not the knowledge of the Most High. Because the scripture says that the Holy Spirit is going to teach you and show you the things that Yahweh Shai taught. All right, so now, let's say, for example, the new moon comes in right here. Well, if the new moon comes in right there, what people would do is people would say, well, even though it's there, we're going to count it as a seventh day, even though it didn't come in on the seventh day of the week. And then we're going to go again and start from day number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When in actuality, you're not on the seventh day. You on the 4th day. And then you converted the 4th day and said, no, this is going to be, you converted the 4th day and said, no, this is going to be the 7th day. And then this is going to be the 1st day, the 2nd day, the 3rd day, the 4th day, 5th day, the 6th day, and this is going to be the Sabbath day this week. And then next week, if it falls, see, but you're not doing it with, this is the week you started at. If the Sabbath comes in on the 4th day of the week, it's the 4th day out of a 7-day count. And then what you do is, what people make the mistake of doing is, they say, you know what, we're going to forget about these 2 days. And we're going to just go and say that this is a Sabbath day because this is a new moon. And they make that mistake. And they say, well, this is a Sabbath day because this is the new moon. So now every day after they do this, they go up here. They say, this is the 4th day, but it ain't the 4th day. We're going to say it's a Sabbath day. And then tomorrow, we're going to say, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see that? So if we actually saw what was happening, you know, you would understand. Let me show you what's actually happening. And this is exactly what's happening. All right? Let's say right here, this is the 4th day of the week. The new moon comes in. So now you say, okay, this is the Sabbath day. But it's the 4th day of the week. But you want to try to say it's the end of the week, it's the Sabbath. But then you come and say, now we're in day number 1, 2, 3. Well, the Most High said it's 6 and 7, that the Sabbath is always going to fall on the 7th day. It always falls on the 7th day. So now I'm on the 4th day now. So now I'm starting on day number 1 again. But I was at day number 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago. So this is actually day number 5. So how am I keeping the Sabbath day on day number 4? Because the new moon is a different operation than the Sabbath day. It doesn't, it happens within a 7-day week, and the week continues. You kind of relax and chill out. You don't do your own pleasure on that day, but the week continues. The week continues on that day. You know, the week continues. It doesn't, the 7-day count never stops. All right, so I just wanted to bring that out real quick. All right. Now, when the Most High also, let me bring out one last thing. The Most High also said that it says the person, everyone whose heart motivates him to bring it as a gift for Yahweh. Meaning what? There was no scare tactic or twisting your arms for the Most High to say, give this to me so we can build this temple. So how are these so-called teachers nowadays gonna say, well, yeah, you got to do this and you got to bring this money, you got to do X, Y, Z. There's only 3 things that was mandatory, in the scriptures. Okay, only 3 things that was mandatory. It's a but you were supposed to call me. We all want to talk to you. Okay, I'll give you a call out. I guess that's for me. Well, you were supposed to call me tomorrow at 3. I don't know. Is that for me? Hey, Shalom, Cletus. Yeah, sometimes Facebook will do that, Hezekiah. If I do a class like after another class, sometimes even YouTube won't notify, somebody watching from YouTube. Yakanan, is that you, man? Banyamya. Is that you, Yakanan? I saw something just went up, man. I thought I saw Yakanan Banyamyan. All praise to Yahweh if I did, man. Okay. I do that then, man. I do that. Yeah, you 2 hours behind me. So, what was I on, Amaya? You remember what I was about to write down? Yeah, you remember what I was about to write, man? I forgot my train of thought. All right, so I think what we were on was I know one of the points that I was making. Oh, the 3 things that the Most High requires. All right, the Most High requires tights, which was food. Tights was from food. That's what he required. The Most High required. I'm gonna call it a temple tax, which was half of a shekel. That's what the Most High required. And then there's something else. What else did the Most High require? We see it was, I can't think of the other thing right now. But these are the things that the Most High required. This was once a year, and this was like twice a year on one occasion. Then the other was 3 times a year. So it was livestock and crops. All right. The other one, it's on the tip of I can't remember, but now you got brothers saying, hey, you must give me this money every week. But what did Yahweh say? Yahweh said the people, everyone whose heart motivating him was supposed to bring something to the temple. Nobody forced you or twisted your arm to do it. You see that? So this was something different that brothers are doing now, making brothers say, you got to give me X amount of money. The Most High said, if you want to do it, give it. Then he said, these 2 things you got to do every year. We read about them so far. The tithes, and then the first fruits also, which the first fruits was the form of the tithes too. So all these different kinds of tithes we brought to the Most High. And then we have what they call a free will offering. But the shekels, the money was for this. All right? The money was for this. Over here, man, you had, different types of oranges and in different, kinds of bananas. And he had little, yeah, your little grains that you bought, And then you had little, you might have bought some, some turtle doves or something. That's like little turtle doves flying. Right, but little turtle dove, they got like a little. Like little mini, they got like a little mini missile launchers on their wings. My turtle doves got missile launchers on their wings, bro. Like my turtle doves ain't playing. My turtle doves are not playing with nobody, man. I got some killer turtle doves. That's the turtle dove. So now, but this right here, man, the Most High didn't tell nobody to bring no certain amount of money out of every paycheck. Man made that up. Let people know, hey, Most High didn't say this, but we need this money to do X, Y, and Z. So I can live off of y'all, and y'all pay me some money, and I'm gonna teach y'all the Bible, but we need this money to do these things or whatever. Everybody trying to make money, man, off the people. We got everybody trying to make money off the people. I mean, it's good. Now, if you really in it to win it, and you studying and you teaching, and people giving you money, well, guess what? Why don't you figure out a way how to make the people money start to generate more money also? Instead of just being a consumer, why don't you pray that the Father show you how to make the people be producers instead of just consumers? Because you just consuming their money, all right? And they just giving it to you with no return on it. So that's using wisdom. As many of these different Israelite congregations got all these brothers listening to them and following them, y'all should have been had a business. But then everybody got time to be building everybody building no business, but everybody going out working, giving you money, and the people that's under you. And we saw that going on with a few Israelite congregations around here recently, had people joining them, and they trying to milk people. They trying to milk people for money, man. That ain't right. That's wicked, man. That's filthy lucre. That's exactly what the Most High talked against. So that's why you better be careful, man, and trying to press people and making it some sort of requirement that they got to give you some money, man. You can't do that, man, because the Most High ain't authorize you to make nobody mandatory put nothing in your pocket, bro. That's like that. That ain't right. Like 3 o'clock my time is gonna be like you central now. I figure I know where you at, so I'll figure out what your time zone is. But make sure it's really 3 o'clock. Because I'm on Pacific time right now. I'm on Pacific time right now. All right, y'all, Bonnie. Yeah, man. Bring that out, bro. Like people's exploiting the people, man. And I see it going on with a lot of brothers. You know what I'm saying? I see it going on with a lot of brothers. I ain't calling no names on it. Cause I ain't know, but if it's going on to you, man, you need to approach these people, bro. Like, yo, I need some help, man. You got all of us working, giving you money. What you gonna produce a business? We gonna make some money off the money we giving you, or what you doing with it? I mean, don't just and everybody is following the footsteps of these so-called Christian churches that's robbing the people. Got this big old building, and you got something brand new and traveling around the world doing what you want to do, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. You can't be robbing the people and making merchandise of the Most High's people, man. The Most High, he don't like that. So it's about all of us. When we see inside these scriptures, what do we see? We see Yasha'Allah came together to work as a team. So if you got a congregation, if you got a husband, if you got a wife, if you got a family, man, y'all should be working as a team to come up, man. Either spiritually, you know what I'm saying, or economically. Find a niche and get into it and develop it, within your family, man. Because the Most High loves when we produce for Him. That's why He told the people whose heart was sincere toward Him to bring these things to the tabernacle so that you can make this tabernacle. The Most High didn't need that tabernacle. It was for us. So it went all to us. The Most High didn't get near a penny of what we brought to Him. And then the half shekels that we gave to the temple every year, that was for the maintenance of the tabernacle. And that's why you got Passover coming up. And a lot of you brothers, man, please do not charge people for the Passover to try to make a profit, man. Please don't do that. Please charge the people for Passover a proportion of what it costs for you, for the building and for the food and for whatever else you got going on. Please do that. Don't charge people you trying to make money and trying to make the Passover a bigger. What do we see the Passover doing in the scriptures? And that's how we're supposed to keep it. We're supposed to keep it with solemnity. Okay? You're supposed to keep it with solemnity. Okay, y'all out there in AZ together. Okay. Y'all out there in AZ together. Nas and AZ. Hallelujah. All right. So yeah, man, all praise to Yahweh. Akim got out there, safe and secure. I know you didn't get out there without no trial, but Most High gonna allow Hashatan to throw a trial at you. So, I'm anxious to hear what the trial was that he threw at you, because you ain't gonna do nothing without no trial. But yeah, so when you're dealing with the Passover, man, be fair. Every time we had the Passover, when we did it, when we did the Passover in Belize, when we did the Passover in Ohio, when we did the Passover, in Mexico, whenever we did the Passover, we all just chipped in together and we took care of what needed to be taken care of. Nobody got paid nothing, and we didn't charge nobody nothing. We let them know, hey, we're gonna get this pound of lamb, and then somebody would have an EBT, they get the lamb on the EBT, and then maybe they would get the money from the EBT to get the whole lamb. You can get a whole lamb in some places on your EBT card, and you might even hook them up and say, okay, well, the lamb costs 150. You know what I'm saying? Well, we'll give you 75 for the lamb. Use the EBT, and then that person would take that 75 and then buy more stuff for the feast or whatever. So you got to be fair with our people, man. The Most High, anytime you read the Bible, man, ain't nobody was getting paid. Only people that were getting paid were like Aharon and them for the work they was doing at the temple. And then, when people were doing a lot of studying and hardcore studying, they would get some type of business going on. Now, if you want to get, I ain't knocking, if you want to give something to a brother that's really studious and studying and to help build a business, or to just help him with traveling, or to help him with materials and everything, that's good. But you can't tell nobody to be down with me and my crew. You got to give X amount of percentage of your money every month, man. That's extortion, bro. Like, that's wicked as hell, man. You can't do your peoples like that, man. You can't do brothers like that. Like, y'all, that's like on some, like on some Bible pimping type of stuff, man. You can't do that, man. All right, so, all right, y'all. So that's about it for today, man. Remember, Exodus 35, we see about the Sabbath. It talks about, the moons. It talks about kindling the fire. It talks about all the furniture in the tabernacle. Everybody it was two rows. The people that were bringing stuff that they were going to need to put everything together. And then the people that brought the stuff, when they brought it, it was another crew, or maybe even some of the same people that was supposed to do the work and, put everything together and assemble everything so that the Most High's tabernacle, his work, can get done. So it's up to you and your leadership, your household, your head, all right, your elder or your husband, to talk and work together to see how can the reality come together of where you can worship the Most High better in spirit and in truth. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, man. So this is the Torah portion. As you can see, man, it's so many different things we can cover from just them topics from the Torah, and they all true. All right, so I tell you once again, all right, Tawada, all praise to Yahweh, man. All praise to Yahweh. All right, a great class again. All praise to Yahweh. Bashema Mashak Yahweh Shai. Once you learn that Torah, man, everything become a lot more clear. So a lot of you brothers, you got to really sit down and read the Torah. And when you read it, man, so much stuff becomes clear because it's a different level of spirituality that we're not dealing with right now, most of our people. So when you go into it, man, the Most High show you, different things. All right, so I say again, Shemai Yasha Allah, Yahweh Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Kad, Wa Hapta At Yahweh Allah Hayaka, Bakal Lababka, Wa Bakal Napaska, Wa Bakal Ma'adka, Yabaraka Kam Yahweh, Bashem Hamashiach, Yahweh Shad. All right. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. All right. He bless you, Yahweh, in the name of the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. Shalom Lakam. Also remember, in 9 more nights, we're going to have the new month. 9 more nights is the new month. Okay? And then the new year is on so-called April 4th. So-called April 4th sunset to April 5th sunset. And Passover is not in February, it's not in March. Passover is going to be on so-called April 18th to April 19th. Sunset to sunset is the first day. And then the 7th day of Passover is going to be on April 24th to April 25th. All right? Shalom Lakam. Yahweh bless you all. In the name of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Shalom. Dun, 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 dun.